Oh, dear. You ready, bro? Ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead with that. I'm just wrapping up the phone call. Sorry.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Motive Racing Channel. We are here tonight for the Purple Sector Formula One League. Tonight, round 2 of season 12 here at Jeddah. And we're in the, we just started the qualifying session. We've just seen there, Drauga's already retired from the session. Now, some of you might be concerned there, Drauga fans. However, there's not too much to worry about in terms of the fact that he will be starting the race, but unfortunately has incurred a qualifying ban, that's the one. So we'll have to start the race from the back of the pack, or at least near the back, due to that, which is obviously a bit of a shame there for him. But nonetheless, still a long race ahead of us, and plenty of opportunities over the course of this one. So yeah, shouldn't be too much of an issue, all being well in the race. So we've got Senna in the comments there, says good evening, welcome along, mate, good to see you, Senna. Got me involved actually in another league, which I'm going to be commentating on Monday. Myself and Ian will be around on Monday night now, as well as Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll be commentating on the Red Arrow Racing League, which will be running on Monday night. So looking forward to that. Hopefully Senna will be in there as a reserve, but if not, still be a strong grid out there for us to commentate on. So looking forward to that. But without further ado, let's get into the action here at Purple Sector tonight, because we have got a lot in store here over the course of this evening. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. We've got a lot of drivers coming out onto the track straight away there. You got the Mark, you got C. Faulkner and Ruck, with Clen ahead of, not ahead of, but yeah, as well as T, Man United FC there, and also Oliver, and you got Matty Pitt and White Shadow Hole out on the track. So is Rexy Boy now as well. We're still yet to see the likes of Street Boy, Basin, Stiffy and Truckee. But quickly, I'm just going to run you through a quick recap of the finishing order from Tuesday night, the season opener at Bahrain. So it was Davidoff who took the win due to a crazy end to the race. Davidoff's not here, by the way, tonight. I'll get into that in a bit, but essentially took a crazy win due to some crashes in front of him a couple of laps from the end. There were a few safety cars. Davidoff got really unlucky with the safety cars, but kept on going and never gave up, and ended up actually taking the win on the final lap at the final corner with a spectacular pass on the inside on the final lap of the race. So Davidoff took the win ahead of Man United FC, who finished in second place, got absolutely mugged at the end, was left in the lead after the incident between Freddie and Justify, and doesn't look like those two are here either tonight, which is a surprise. So I think Justify is expected to be here tonight, so Justify hopefully will be joining during the qualifying session. And Street Boy was in P4 behind them. Then you had Clen in 5th place, followed by Matty Pitt, who came home in P6 after being in the lead up about the halfway point, obviously last season's champion, but ended up dropping down the order due to a bit of bad luck and bad timing with everything else. T was 7th in the end. T there in the other Mercedes, the teammate of the world champion here at Purple Sector. Then you got Stiffy, who was in 8th place, followed by Mark, who finished in P9. Then you had Freddie, who was P10. So obviously a penalty there for Freddie, dropped him down the order. So interesting that, because I wasn't aware of that, but now it kind of makes sense because there was that incident. I don't know if it was the incident. It might not have actually been the last lap incident, but I know there was an incident which was contentious. Senna says, are you alone tonight? No, I've got Ian, but Ian's just on the blower at the minute. He's just having a phone conversation, so fingers crossed we'll be having Ian back with us in a few moments' time. And obviously I do greatly miss him when he's not on the comms with me, because I do tend to just ramble incoherently whenever he's not here. So yeah, but anyway,
You do that anyway.
I don't do it as badly when you're here. Yeah, so I was going through the finishing order from the race. So that was the top 10, and if anybody wants to know the rest of the order, then yeah, you can check out the Discord or ask a friend for it. Senna says, hello Ian.
Hi Senna, how are we?
Obviously, we're going to be commentating on Mondays in the league that Senna reserves in, so we might see him out on track soon, because obviously we know that he's retiring from the F1 game at the end of this season, actually, at the end of this game. So that's 4 months away now. So it'd be nice to see Senna back out on track before, obviously, the F1 25 game comes out.
You just need to remember you can't show favouritism.
No, I wasn't showing favouritism, was I? I don't remember doing that.
No, you will be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't show favouritism when we're doing that commentary on Monday.
Oh, right, okay. No, I don't even know if he'll be racing, because he's only a reserve anyway, so he might not even be racing. Yeah, it's true. Very true. We've got C. Faulkner at the top of the leaderboard right now on a 1 minute 29.3, so definitely laying down a marker here is C. Faulkner in the early stages of this qualifying session. Only 0.2 of a second ahead of the reigning champion, Matty Pitt. You got Mark there in third, currently in the pits. So is Ruck and Oliver in third, fourth and fifth places, those guys. You've got Rexy Boy, who's done a time good enough for 6th place, but a long way off of the top time at the moment. Trucky's gone 7th on a 1:31 dead, and White Shadow Hull has done P8, but is well off of the pace at the moment. But Senna says, I won't be test week coming up for me. Oh no, poor you poor guy.
Anyway.
That's stressful, very stressful. What's that?
Said, oh no, anyway.
Yeah. But no, I genuinely do feel for him. Like, yeah, tests are never fun. They're such a drag. It's such a drag. Yeah, gutted. Oliver coming in out of the pits, and you got Rexy Boy coming in. As we see Oliver coming back out for another run here in this session. C. Faulkner also on his way in, the provisional pole sitter at the moment, but let's jump on board somebody and see if anyone's out on a lap. The Basin is currently on a flying lap at this moment in time. Still yet to actually put a time on the board, but we're coming to the middle sector here in the Alfa Romeo Kicksalver Stake F1 BMW Salver thingy what's it, and here he comes through the sector time. Obviously didn't come up actually whether he's up or down, so it says I'll race in Red Arrow in a few weeks again, most likely in a week or two. It'd be good to see Senna back out on track again here on the Motive Racing channel, because it has been a little while. And obviously I know that he won the championship in not the last season that we had, but the season before. Senna was the champion of the F1 League in the penultimate season that we had on Motive, and we weren't able to actually cover him winning the championship because so many races got called off because of all sorts of just issues with the admin of the league and stuff. It wasn't their fault, but it was basically just a lot of sugar honey iced tea was going on, which meant that we weren't able to get everybody there on a Friday. And obviously, I knew from the get go, back when the F1 league started at Motive on a Friday. Obviously, it was during COVID when nobody was doing anything. But I realised that over the years after COVID, it became harder and harder to fill up a league on a Friday night. Obviously, for understandable reasons, and it just got to the point where it was so difficult. And I gave up about a year before Matty Pitt offered to take over. He did a fantastic job of getting the numbers to where he did, but ultimately it just all fell apart, which was a shame, but it is what it is. As Ian has now finally decided to join my share play. Took your time.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like I'm dying here, man. Leave me alone.
I'm sorry. We've got Claire who goes into P3 with that last up on a 129.6. T has done a time good enough. Fourth place, 129.7. So it's reasonably close at the top of the leaderboard here. You got the top 6 separated by half a second, as Mark is in P5 and Ruck has done a time good enough for P6 here. Obviously, Ruck's RNG clan tag mate is serving a qualifying ban tonight. Drago, as we see, Basin there has gone to the top of the leaderboard. Where did that come from? What a lap, Ian. And Basin, we haven't really seen much from him so far. Obviously, made a debut on Tuesday night at Bahrain, and that's an absolute stonker there.
Yep, fantastic lap. Anybody that's raced this circuit knows it can be extremely difficult to put a fast lap together without having to touch the wall. As we just saw, the Stiffy is just taking pole right off of Basin.
Oh, look at that. So Stiffy goes a tenth of a second quicker. Obviously, Stiffy, we come to expect this from Stiffy because we saw on Tuesday was a real contender and was battling for the win. Actually, for the entirety, he got pole position by quite some way and ended up involved in a collision with Drauger. Actually, it was, or was it Ruck? It was one of the two RNG drivers, but I can't remember which one.
It was not Ruck, because he was down in the middle of the pack.
It was Drauger, so maybe that's why Drauger's got the qualifying ban. Could well be. That is the reason. But yeah, nonetheless, obviously that collision towards the end of the race was really, really gutting for both of those two, and it really did blow the race wide open because there was a train of 11 cars. Obviously that was then struck down a bit because Matty Pitt was also caught up in that. Then we had 8 cars, then the pack sort of split up a bit, and then obviously on the last lap we had the collision between Freddie and Justify, which unfortunately dropped those two to third and fourth when they were battling for the win. But nonetheless, Stiffy definitely could be a strong contender for this championship this season. There's plenty of drivers though who I know is going to be up there. C. Faulkner was very strong towards the end of last season. Matty Pitt, obviously can't count him out, the reigning champion as well. There's plenty of people in there who could definitely do something. Davidoff not here tonight, which is a massive shame because Davidoff obviously took the win on Tuesday night and was unlucky to not have that win in the bag because, I mean, obviously he got it, but he had been leading comfortably earlier on in the race when the safety car came out, so it was very, very unlucky there for him. But as we see most of the drivers in the pits at the moment, Stiffy on his way in. You got Mark out there on a flying lap at the moment, goes P4, lovely lap there from Mark, 0.6 of a second off the fastest time. You've got Rexy Boy here coming through Sector 1, and Street Boy's out there at the moment. He's just finished a lap there, P13 there for Street Boy, as we see Rexy Boy is well off of his fastest time at the moment, coming round on this lap that he's on. So no improvements, I think, in store for us here as Ian's graffitiing on the screen. So yeah.
You've got to look right here, right here.
Where the cars are.
Just right here where I'm circling, this a particular area. I think you'll find it very interesting.
What in particular is there that I'm supposed to be looking at?
I don't really know, just something to tell me that this particular area with this, black, pink, blue thing is the meant to be the main centre of attraction here.
Are you trying to say that those colours are particularly beautiful? The pink and blue livery?
No.
Oh. I thought you were saying that.
And just in terms of all things that could possibly.
I thought you were saying that Alpine had the prettiest.
Well.
I thought you were saying that Alpine had the prettiest livery.
No, just these two things right here you see on screen.
Yeah.
These are.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and neither does anyone else, because nobody else can see what you're doing. I'm the one that has to see what you're doing and be completely distracted by it. As we see Ruck is on a flying lap right now, so Ruck obviously looking to try and put himself in the mix. Ruck's been a contender in a lot of the races that we've covered so far since our return here at Motive a couple of weeks ago, and it's slightly up in the first sector, but slightly up isn't going to be buttering any parsnips here tonight, because he's currently P9, a second off of the pace, so really needs to pick that up here over the course of this qualifying session. And we're riding aboard through that very tricky section. That's the part of the track where I always forget there's a corner. I always get to that and I always end up cutting the runoff, because I always forget there's a right-left kind of like chicane thing there. As we see Ruck now coming in towards the final sector here. Now 2/10 up through the middle of the sector, so this could be a good lap for Ruck. Could be on course maybe for, I don't know, maybe a P4 if he can really string this final sector together. Who knows? We see Ruck now coming down towards the final corner here at Jeddah, and what is this going to be? Yeah, don't go into the wall on the exit, but Ruck here onto the power, very cautious there on the exit of the corner. Obviously he was paying attention to what Ian was saying there very closely, as Ruck now coming over the line, and P4 there for Ruck. Oh, didn't I call it? Didn't I say? What did I say?
Yeah, that's wrong, because Oliver just took off him.
Oliver's done a stonking lap there. Where has that come from? Oliver has put in the time and effort here with this one. That's fantastic there from Oliver. P4, only half a second off of the pace, less than half a second off the pace. Brilliant stuff there from our Haas driver.
Yeah.
Who I won't front it, you know, was typically off the pace at Motive, but seems to have really come on absolutely leaps and bounds since I last saw him. I guess this is a sensational performance and effort here tonight from Oliver.
I don't know about you, but I personally do enjoy this track. I don't know what it is about it. It's just I think it's the fast flow nature of it, especially the first sector.
Yeah, it's a real outlier, isn't it? It's one of those tracks that rewards patience and rewards dedication, I think, as well. If you put in the effort and the time, then it's going to be very advantageous.
You've got to have the brass balls to be able to try and get as close to that wall as you possibly can.
Definitely. We've got Senna there taking credit for Oliver's major improvement there in the comments, saying,
no, you don't.
Looks like my management from half a year ago did something to him.
No.
Yeah, he has improved a heck of a lot, as there's no doubt about it. As T there goes P3, only 0.4 of a second off of the fastest time, slightly quicker than C. Faulkner and Oliver, but it's very, very close actually between those three. They're all in the 1:29.3s, but T currently leading that trio in third, fourth and fifth places. The top two are well ahead of everybody else here, Stiffy and Basin. They seem to have this between them, as Basin improved slightly there, but not by enough, and it looks like that's going to be his qualifying session done. So Stiffy's going to be able to hold on ahead of Basin for pole, but is there anyone else out there? Are there any other contenders, dark horses if you like, who are going to be looking to try and stake a claim here for pole here at Jeddah tonight? We've got C. Faulkner on an hour lap, so we've got to watch out for C. Faulkner. T will be in this lap, so that will be his session done. Oliver's in, so's Ruck, Mark and Matty Pitt. P8 at best here tonight for Matty Pitt. Long way off the pace. We've got MUFC coming to the first sector. Got to keep an eye, because MUFC was P2 in the season opener at Bahrain on Tuesday, so could do some damage here tonight. Let's obviously keep an eye.
That's exactly what I mean. That he got so close to that wall there, and he kept his foot to the floor, and that, you know, I feel like the first sector makes up like roughly about 95% of your lap time.
I tell you what, right? If I had done a league race at Jeddah, I would have probably had a really good qualifying, you know, top 4, and then I'd probably stack it on about lap 5, because my concentration dipped for like 1 second. And
you're looking at another car and you end up going into a wall or something.
Yeah, it would just be the kind of track where I'd hook it up over a lap, be really confident, and then it'd all go wrong. Yeah,
this looks like a really cool.
Who was that? There's somebody just stopped
Mercedes.
on the track there. Was it a Mercedes? Was it?
No.
T.
T.
Yeah. Oh dear. See, definitely quite dangerously positioned there, as we see MUFC coming out of the final corner, slightly up in the middle sector. Let's see what he can do as he comes up towards the line, and MUFC over the line. It's P6. It is an improvement there, a considerable improvement in the mix there. So let's keep an eye on C. Faulkner, because C. Faulkner is 0.2 of a second up through the first sector here. So if we can continue this momentum, if we can do 2/10 in every sector, that'll be pole position here for C Faulkner. We've got to keep an eye. There was a little bit of a mistake, slight mistake, but didn't cost him too much, I don't think. Let's see. Towards the final corner now. Let's see if C Faulkner can avoid doing the Max Verstappen special on the exit of this corner. Hooking up beautifully there. Lovely exit. Really, really confident on the throttle as well there. As C Faulkner up towards the line. Is it going to be pole position tonight at Jeddah? It is not going to be pole position. It's 300ths of a second shy of Stiffy's time there. So C Faulkner will have to settle for a front row. I don't think anybody else is out there to take that away from him. Clen is out there. Oh, let's keep an eye on Clen because way down the order at the moment, but that could all change very shortly as we see Clen coming through this middle sector, absolutely nailing that section of the track there. Beautiful stuff. We've got to keep an eye on that split time, top right hand corner. That'll tell us where he is in relation to the other drivers here in this qualifying session tonight. Keep an eye on that clock on the top right hand corner. Let's see. 4/10 of a second up, so Clen is on a fly here. Could even be putting himself in the mix here for a front 2 rows. Maybe even higher than that if he can nail the final sector here. Let's see what Clen is able to do. Coming towards the final corner in the Red Bull. Bit of deja vu there at the end of qualifying. But Clen onto the power and nailing that exit beautifully. Onto the power really nice and early. Here comes Clen towards the line. This is going to be close here. This could be pole, you know. It's not pole, it's P4.
Fourth.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I should honestly become like a psychic because my foreshadowing is on point tonight. It really is. So Clen there, people. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it'll all fall apart. But
of course.
Street Boy is the only driver out there on track, still on a lap, but P12. So I don't think that Street Boy is going to be putting it on pole. I wouldn't have thought. But Stiffy is your pole man for the second race in a row here tonight. As C Faulkner comes over the line there. Don't know if that's a delay or something. That's a bit strange, isn't it?
I think it might be the AI.
Yeah, but it's just crossed the start-finish line. He literally just came over the line a second ago. All right, never mind.
Yeah, it's the AI that's doing it.
It's another lap, yeah. Yeah. Was it really a minute and a half ago that C Faulkner? Well, it's more than that now. 2 minutes since he did his lap. I suppose it must be. But yeah, we've got a bit of a glitch in the lobby. Obviously, we've seen this on F1 a few times.
It's because Street Boy's still out.
Yeah. Come on, Street Boy, sort it out. But yeah, got Oliver in the comments there saying, "No, you really helped me. I appreciate it, buddy." And Senna saying he's glad to see Oliver doing such a great job here tonight. And Oliver returning the compliment there, returning the thanks. But yeah, that looks like that's going to be that then for qualifying here. Leave it there. Stop touching things. Leave it there. So that is what. I'm not how. Just right. So that is that then for the qualifying session here. Stiffy taking pole ahead of C Faulkner with Base in third place and Clen fourth. And then you got T and P5 with Oliver sixth, as we see Freddie here saying, watching on from Copenhagen. 1 second, Ian, just talk for a minute.
That's a dangerous opportunity to give me there. Fair enough. Let me pull up the stream so I can try and get a peek at the comments as well. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing in Copenhagen, Freddie? Doing something nice, I hope. Oh, you're over there to see Chelsea game, I'm guessing. We shall see you later on, stand up and enjoy the rest of your night and talk to you soon.
Door! For God's sake.
Yes, rooms have doors.
Just walks out and leaves the door wide open.
All parents do that, mate.
It's not
I know
how
she's
you
like a
found
parent, but...
Well, technically, yes.
Yeah, that's what I got technical.
Yeah, I had two mums, and my mum and my nan, basically. Essentially. Right then. So, here we go. We're about to get going for the formation up here at Jeddah tonight. So, an interesting qualifying session, Ian. Stiffy making it 2 poles in a row, but can he convert this one after that disappointment at Bahrain, do you reckon?
Well, it's like I always say, you can never make a 110%, you know, sure bet on anything, because especially in Formula One, especially around Jeddah, because so much can change, and you know, between the first lap and the third, so much can change. One person can miss their braking point, go into the back of another. You know, someone could go, you know, send that a little bit too hard and end up going into the side of another. It's just so much can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he got a bit of bad luck in the first race, but like you say, anything can happen. But hopefully, he's got his bad luck for this week out of the way, and fingers crossed things can go a bit smoother tonight. We're not sure what the strategies are. I believe I saw one or two drivers on the alternate strategy here, but we're going to obviously look at that at the end of lap one. But here we go. Let's concentrate on lap one here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here at Purple Sector, and it's lights out and away we go. And it's a great start there from Stiffy from pole position. You've got Basin there looking out to the outside as well. Clen looking down the inside there into third place, makes that move there on Basin. Basin down to P4 as Rock there's got ahead of Mark. Trucky's got ahead of Matty Pitt, and we see there Basin's out of the race. So Basin must have crashed around the outside of turn two, and Basin we're already a man down here in the early stage of this race. Stiffy leading ahead of C Faulkner with Claire in third place, so he made that move down the inside. T there in fourth place now with MESC there in P5, followed by Oliver. Then you got Ruck, Mark, Trucky, Rexy Boy completing the top 10. Matty Pitt down to P11. Has not had a great start here with Street Boy P12 ahead of Trauger and White Shadow Hull in P14. So Trauger making up one place there on the start, but didn't even see that incident there involving Basin. It looked like quite a clean start going through turn one, and then it all went horribly wrong.
As most things tend to do, like I said, you know, a lot of things can have a knock-on effect, and it can change the entire, you know, outlook of the race for anybody.
Certainly can. We don't quite know exactly what occurred there, but there's been obviously some sort of to-do, I think, between Clen and Basin. Let's hope that Clen hasn't got any major damage there, although having said that, the front right end plate does appear to be missing. I think if we get a close look at that, we can see. No, is it there? I think it might actually be there. Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It is there. So it seems like Clen might have gone away with either very minimal or no damage. So that's obviously good for him, but no consolation there for Basin, who is now out of this race and will score nil point after a really strong qualifying session. That's a massive shame, because when you see a driver who's new to a league or doesn't regularly score points, obviously in Basin's situation, he's new to the league, but it's a shame when you see somebody qualify so well and then the race goes to pot so early on.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you see someone try and put their all into the qualifying to try and get the best possible starting position, and then, you know, something like that happens, it can really put you off. It can really just, you know, demoralise you. But you've just got to, you know, look forward to the next race and try and improve and figure out what you can do to try and stay away from your opponents in the future.
Absolutely. It's just one of those things. We can see Oliver there coming into the pits in the first lap, also Mark as well, so they're the first two to come in, and Oliver putting the hard tyres on. I wonder if he's going to try and go to the end on them. It's a very high tyred egg circuit here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, so that would be a heck of a feat. Mark is definitely two stopping at least, because the medium tyres haven't got a hope of getting to the end. So two drivers in already, and the rest of them staying out, nobody else thinking that it's worth doing that early pit stop. And Ian, I think that might just be a case of the type of circuit that we're at tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't drive the whole race on a set of hard tyres, not around this circuit, can you?
Oh no, definitely not. No. Don't care how fast the corners can be, how many there are. It's going to be very difficult to get those hard tyres to temperature, and even if you do, you've still got a high chance of overheating them and just ruining them at that point.
Yeah, for sure. The best thing I think is probably to either wait for your natural pit window or come in a bit later on if there is another safety car, because the likelihood is around a track like this, you're more than likely going to have more than one safety car, aren't you? I think we can almost guarantee it around a circuit like this, can't we?
I mean, as we saw, with the last race, the drivers had so much more room to play with, so many more runoff areas, and yet we still had a good few safety cars. So, in terms of how we're going to be looking at Jeddah, the drivers have to be extremely careful to try and reduce the amount of safety cars we do have.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be, I think, a case of just making sure that you're there, surviving, and not making too many mistakes here tonight, because I think that just finishing the race is probably going to get you some points here tonight. It typically is that way around a circuit like this, so yeah, it's going to be survival. It's going to be a case of last man standing in a sense, I think, here, which is exciting, and let's hope that the racing is also clean and fair and exciting as well. But we should be on the final lap of the safety car here. Sorry, mate.
No, what's I going to say?
Oh, I thought I heard you about to say something.
No.
All right. But yeah, so obviously we should be on the final lap of the safety car period here. I would have thought we'd be coming in at the end of this lap, because obviously the whole pack is now with us. It's now putting up onto the back of the train here, so I wouldn't have thought there'd be much need to keep them on their leashes for much longer. So yeah, let's hope that we can get this race underway and we can see some proper racing action here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, there's a lot of very fast cars on a track that is all in a lane going no faster than 110 miles an hour.
Yeah, this is not what they're designed to do, and the tyres are going to be getting very cold, and the brakes are going to be getting very cold, but obviously they are trying to keep those brakes nice and warm by doing lots of stoppy, starty, accelerate, brakey moves, which involve revving the engine very high and trying to go up and down the gears as much as possible, and trying to slam the brakes on at every opportunity. So for those of you who weren't aware of that, now you are, and hopefully you're incredibly enlightened by that very advanced technical analysis there. But anyway, we're about to come in here and we're about to go racing for this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix tonight here at Jeddah for round 2 of this purple sector Formula 1 league here on this Thursday night. And the race leader Stiffy there just really closing him up there out of the final corner, just trying to make absolutely sure that we have another crash on this restart, which is good to see, Stiffy. Obviously, well done. And here we go, we're racing.
Just a quick thing, ladies and gentlemen, this safety car talk is brought to you by Andy's Tech Talk.
Andy's Tech Talk, ATT, yeah. Is what we call it now here at here on the Motive Racing channel. Don't go anywhere else for your technical analysis here, because you get all the information that you need, plus a load of useless facts as well, as we see Ruck there very close on MUSC, but not close enough there coming into turn 4, I think it is, or 5, I can't remember, I lose track of the numbers. But anyway, Stiffy has already got a lead just over a second here over C. Faulkner on this restart, so Stiffy's really got out of the gates quickly. C. Faulkner, no! Oh my goodness, we were just watching there as C. Faulkner binned it. What a coincidence that was, Jesus Christ.
And it's a virtual safety car, so we have another round of Andy's Tech Talk.
Yeah, so as you can see here, you've got the leader who's probably not going to be able to come into the pits at the end of this lap, and I'll tell you why, because it's a virtual safety car and we're a long way from the pits, which means that by the time we get round to the pits, the virtual safety car will have subsided, which means that there's not going to be any opportunity for anybody to come in and change tyres and get a free pit stop or a half-price pit stop. I'll tell you what, a free pit stop is a red flag. A safety car is a half-price pit stop, and a virtual safety car is 25% off.
Well, I would say that a free pit stop is if you come into the pits as the safety car comes out.
Yeah, you still lose some time, but the only one where you don't is on a red flag. But then again, everybody's in the same boat on a red flag, so exactly. I guess, yeah, I've just completely
There's no advantage for anybody at that point.
I'll tell you what, the virtual safety car's still out here at the end of this lap, so is anybody going to come into the pits and chance it? Doesn't look like it. They're all staying out for the time being.
There we go.
Yep, here we go. So Glenn has got a big train of cars here behind him and hasn't got DRS on the race leader Stiffy, so this could be absolutely crucial here for these drivers behind, like T, because T will be looking to itching to try and make this move here. Glenn either needs to keep his wits about him or here, because Glenn could be very vulnerable here to this train of cars who are behind, as Rock here trying to make a move on MUFC. Looking to the outside here is Rock. Is he going to make this move on the outside? He does make that move up into 4th place. Lovely move there from Rock as they came through that fast left-hander there, which is an absolute ball ache for the right rear tyres. But into that tricky chicane, which I always forgets there. And currently T is still hassling the back of Glenn right now. T's going to be right there with the DRS through this next zone. Let's jump on board with the Mercedes and see what he's seeing. And you can see he's going to get some lovely closing speed here down this part of the track. This is going to be a massive opportunity, but not close enough this time. But T might get a chance down towards the next DRS zone as Rexy Boy's made the move on Truckee up into 6th place as well. So nicely done there from him. T now is going to line up the back of Glenn, looking to the outside as Glenn forces him around. T makes the move well before the corner up into 2nd place as now Rock is going to look to try and make the move as well. But the thing is, now T is at the head of this train. Now T's got to try and lead the charge after the race leader as Rexy Boy and Truckee are side by side here coming out of the final corner. Matty Pitt right there as well as these three are battling it out here down the start finish straight. Matty Pitt looking to the inside now of Truckee as it's going to try and make it 2 moves in the space of a couple hundred metres here for Matty Pitt. Down the inside he goes, the reigning champion there, making 2 moves on the straight. Lovely stuff there from him as Rexy Boy and Truckee in the background there. Truckee now potentially is going to lose out to Drauger as well, although Drauger has to tuck in behind. Drauger though has come from 15th on the grid to 9th, so been a very strong first few laps from Drauger. We didn't expect any less, to be honest, because we know that Drauger is a front running driver. But fantastic start, fantastic opening few laps there for Drauger.
Well, Rock has a 3-second time penalty, presumably for track limits, which is very easy to get around this track.
It's very early though, Ian. I mean, you know, you're treading water. If you're getting a penalty this early, you're definitely going to be pushing your luck for the rest of it, because you know, I think what a penalty every 6 laps would mean, 40 seconds worth if he keeps that up.
Yeah.
So Rock needs to rein that in before it gets any worse. I know, actually, no, not 40 seconds, 12 seconds. Duh, it's 3 seconds. God's sake.
No, sometimes they do get progressively worse if you keep on doing it.
Oh, really? Okay. I know they give you a 10-second penalty if you straight line a chicane or something. In the meantime, Rock has made that...
I think it does depend on how much speed you carry into the cut.
As MUFC here looking to the outside now of T into the final corner. Is he going to make that stick? He's going to have to slipstream now off of Rock as well, which is going to... Oh, no! And T there just tagging the rear of him. The two of them are into the wall. How have neither of them retired from the race? I do not know. But that looked very scrappy to me. T just tagged the rear of him. Did T drive into him there?
Yeah, he came across him.
That was very strange there. It looked a little bit cynical there, I have to say. Don't want to jump to any conclusions.
On purpose.
Very strange incident there. I've got to say, I don't want to. I'm not calling anything. I'm not suggesting anything at all. But Ian is. But I want to watch the replay first before I make any conclusions there. But nonetheless, Stiffy leads by nearly 4 seconds ahead of Glenn and Ruck, who are still battling over 2nd and 3rd places. Bit of a gap out to Matty Pitt there, running in 4th place. Then you got Rexy Boy, Truckee, Drauger, and Street Boy there on the back of them. There's MUFC, a little way behind now after that moment there.
It was MUFC that turned into hanging.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So he was on the outside. Did he move across him on the outside?
Yep.
It's unlikely because he was ahead, so I don't think he would have done it deliberately. It must have been a stupid mistake. Must have been a really, really silly misjudgment, because he was on the outside. He'd have had nothing to gain from moving across because he was ahead. I can't think why it would have been deliberate. Rock there gets around the outside of Glenn into the final corner up into 2nd place. But these two continuing to chop and change right now. Street Boy and Drauger are battling over 7th place at the moment as they come around the last corner. Street Boy there on the outside. Is Drauger going to get the DRS? I don't know who was going to be behind at the detection point. Oh, it was actually Street Boy, so Street Boy is able to pull away there. And Rexy Boy leading ahead of Matty Pitt in the battle for 4th place there into turns 1 and 2. But Matty Pitt might fancy a move here. Coming down towards 4, looks to the outside. Nowhere to go there for him. He has to tuck in for the time being. And Ruck and Glenn continuing their battle for 2nd and 3rd places right now. Matty Pitt looking very racy here on the back of the Ferrari though.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to think the smallest opportunity to try and get by him, but it just seems like Rexy Boy just has every single area covered with that wide ass Ferrari.
Yeah, he definitely seems to be making it as difficult as he possibly can here for Matty Pitt. These guys are losing time, actually, on the battle for the podium. Ruck and Ken now 3.5 seconds up the road, so if Matty Pitt wants any chance of that, or wants any say in that, then he needs to get on with it here. But DRS open through this part of the track, maybe a bit too far back into this next braking zone, though. He's going to have a little look there, trying to put him under a bit of pressure. Tags the wall on the outside a little bit there, did Matty Pitt. I'll tell you what, that was a close call. Don't want to hit that too hard, you can lose part of that front wing. But Matty Pitt DRS down towards the final corner, and surely he's going to make this move. But the question is Rexy going to come back at him? In fact, he doesn't make the move, he tucks in. I think Matty Pitt backed out of that there, because he had the momentum for sure. So I think he must have backed out of that. And here we go, Matty Pitt down the start-finish straight with the DRS, is going to get that closing speed, pulls out of the slipstream now to make this move here on Rexy Boy, and this is going to be 4th place here for Matty Pitt. And he can now try and pull away here and chase after the leaders. So Matty Pitt has made a crucial move there for his race. That was definitely a fork in the road there for Matty Pitt in his Saudi Arabian Grand Prix tonight. But Stiffy out the front with a 5-second gap over these two, Ruck and Clen, who still continues to fight it out here for 2nd and 3rd places. And who knows what Matty Pitt can do now. He's in some clean air. He could potentially be a factor here for these guys, because he's kept that gap pretty consistent since they've been battling as well. But yeah, Stiffy in a class of his own here tonight, Ian. I'll tell you what, he's certainly looking to try and make up for the disappointment of Tuesday night, as we see C. Faulkner's out of the race. So what a disappointment there. C. Faulkner obviously had a bit of a topsy-turvy race on Tuesday night, and we know that the pace is there, but so far this season it's been 2 very underwhelming races here for C. Faulkner for the start of this season.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a up and down situation for C. Faulkner, but whenever he does have a good race, he is definitely up there fighting, fighting Stiffy, fighting Ruck, but tonight it seems like the track's just got the better of him. It's all I can say is just regroup and focus on the next track.
Yeah, I suppose obviously Saudi Arabia is a strange one because it's a street circuit, and you've obviously got Bahrain, which is a very unconventional purpose-built track. So I think maybe once we get to the more conventional Grand Prix circuits, that might be more advantageous. But always we see Rex Whitler making the move. What do you reckon on that? Do you reckon once we get to the more sort of classic tracks, it could be a different story perhaps?
Yeah. Because everybody's got their own preferences, whether they like street circuits better than purpose-built tracks. Personally, I'm about 50-50 on both. I know I think you would rather prefer the purpose-built tracks.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
There's people out there that that can do well on either or. Like Stiffy, for instance, he was P1 for most of the race last race, and he's P1 again tonight. Ruck, he was down in order last time. Tonight he's fighting for P2. It's just purely, it depends on exactly what you prefer.
Yeah, it certainly does. I remember funnily enough, obviously now I struggle around street circuits, but when I was younger, I remember my first ever sim race, my first ever league race I ever did was in a league called ARL, and I must have been about 13 at the time, and my first ever win came at Valencia. Do you remember the old street circuit Valencia? It was on F1 2011, I think it was, and that was my first ever league race win, was at Valencia, funnily enough.
We've got rocking.
But yeah, that was my peak in terms of my street circuit driving. Yeah, for sure. Things went downhill from there. But yeah, lots of drivers coming in here. So those who started on the mediums, or a lot of the people who started on mediums have come in. In fact, I think the whole pack pretty much started on the mediums, didn't they? Because I'm just looking down the order. Yeah. Drauger started on the hards, I think. That was the only one who started on the hards. So Drauger's put a set of mediums on. Hopefully, for Drauger's sake, we'll be able to go to the end. We'll have to see. I mean, 15 laps on the mediums would be a heck of a push around this track.
Yeah, also we don't know what the track temperature is, but Saudi Arabia is just a very naturally hot place, so this track will be chewed through those tyres, especially as they continue to get older.
Yeah, absolutely. We see White Shadow Hole there's got a 3-second penalty for track limits, so there's more drivers now picking up those penalties. Pardon me, 6 drivers have now got a a time penalty of some description here, as we see T there moving ahead of White Shadow Hole up into P12, and Street Boy and Truckee both on the rear of Rexy Boy here in front of a second place as they come through into the final corner here on this Jeddah Corniche circuit. But Clen out the front, obviously still yet to pit, and is now coming into the pits here. So let's see if Clen's lost too much time to the leaders over the course of this pit window. As here he comes into the box now. Interestingly though, Street Boy and Truckee staying out. So's Mark as well, but Rexy Boy and Man United following Clen into the pits here. So 4 drivers. In fact, no, Stiffy's already been into the pits. Duh, he was the race leader. He's the net race leader. So it's Street Boy, Truckee and the Mark who are still yet to come in. And Stiffy obviously now is your clear net race leader, having been in very early. Well, no, been in, sorry, a lap earlier. Then now Oliver came in very early. Came in on lap 1. He's currently running in P5 here in this race. But yeah, Street Boy has got a narrow advantage here over Truckee. But these two, as we said, got to be coming in this time around. As we're about halfway around the lap here. So the medium tyres are going to be clinging on, I think, at this point. And I very much doubt the Trauger's going to be able to get them to go 15 laps. I can't see it happening, as Rock there's moved ahead of Oliver up into P5. Obviously those two on slightly different strategies, in that Oliver's been on those hard tyres for 10 laps and Rock is on fresh hard. So no surprise there that he's made that move relatively routinely there.
Yeah, as you would expect from a car that has 9-lap old tire, younger tyres, to the one he's overtaken. It was relatively routine, and kept it simple, kept it clean, and got it done.
For sure, we see there Stiffy there with the DRS getting around the outside of Mark. Question is though, has he left himself vulnerable here with the DRS there for Mark, or was he behind at the detection point? Oh, Mark's coming into the pits anyway, so it doesn't matter. Stiffy into clean air now, into 3rd place. Fast step of the race there for our net race leader, and now not just the net race leader, he is now once again the race leader here at Jeddah, as we see Ruck there now running in 2nd place ahead of Oliver, who's now in 3rd, and Oliver's got Clen behind him on fresh tyres, but Oliver running in 3rd place right now on those worn out hard tyres. If he can get them to the end and can maintain some sort of pace here, then Oliver could be on maybe a top 4, top 5. Yeah, he could be up there for sure. Matty Pitt is 6 seconds behind him at the moment, with 12 laps left in the race. So if Oliver can lap within half a second of Matty Pitt's times consistently for the rest of this race, Oliver could be on for a 4th place here. I think Clen's going to get him without a doubt here, but Oliver could certainly hold on for a P4 if he keeps it together. And that would be absolutely brilliant here. As Senna there saying, please Oliver, podium, please. I don't know about that. I think he'd probably need one of the other 3 guys, Stiffy, Ruck or Clen, to stack it into the wall for that to happen, but I can see no reason why he can't stay in 4th place. I think Clen's going to get him through the next DRS zone, but I don't see why Oliver can't hold on for at least 4th place here. It's definitely on the cards, 100%. As Clen closes up here, coming into the final corner, now is going to get the DRS down the start-finish straight, and this is going to be a relatively easy move here for Clen. But Oliver knows he doesn't need to fight this. He just needs to keep the gap to Matty Pitt here. Ian's back. There we go. So Ian didn't announce that he was leaving, but he has now announced it.
Give me a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were talking as per usual.
Oh, sorry. I do apologise. Sorry about that. But yeah, the gap's staying at around 6 seconds between Oliver and Matty Pitt. So Oliver's got the pace here tonight. Just needs to keep his head. Oh, as we see Oliver wide there, very wide there, going through the 1st sector. That's not the way that he needs to do it. Let's stop putting pressure on him.
Yeah, let's stop. Give the boy some space. Get away from him. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Stiffy, in the meantime, has the race lead, and if there's one driver that we probably don't need to worry about putting pressure on here tonight, it's probably Stiffy.
Don't remember what happened last time.
Seems to be having a very jolly old time out the front, and to be honest, I don't think there's anything that can stop him at this point. I think it's pretty much it's a done deal. It's pretty much finished. There's absolutely nothing that can stop him now. So Stiffy is
Sony,
just
ban him.
he's just driving away off into the distance, and I think this one's pretty much wrapped up. If I'm honest
I
with
will
you,
hurt you.
can't see this one going any other way other than a Stiffy victory here tonight. As Senator there mentioned, the commentators cursed. No, what? No, what? No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no,
I'm
absolutely
definitely a
not.
fuck you in the balls.
Slightly inappropriate. Draga here
So?
making a move to the inside here into turn one. He's going to look to try and make this one stick. Oh, there's contact there between Trucky and Draga. And Draga, they're getting sideways going through through turns 1 and 2. And is now going to have to regroup and try again here as we now come down towards turn 4. But he's a little bit too far away there. And Draga looked like he had had a chance of making that move. But the contact there coming through turn 1 just kind of put him off course a little bit there. Still right there, though. I tell you what, this battle is not over yet. But Trucky holding firm for the time being. And it's all as it was a few moments ago. Glenn is still keeping Ruck on his toes at the moment, just under a second between those two, second and third places. They've been battling now for some time. But Trucky and Drauga now all over the back of Rexy Boy. So this is now a potentially could be a four-way battle because Mark is in the background as well there. As we see, MUFC they're moving ahead of White Shadow Hull up into P12. Trucky has made the move there on Rexy Boy into 7th place. So Trucky now
That's important.
protecting himself from the threat of Drauga by moving ahead of Rexy Boy. Rexy Boy's now coming under pressure from Drauga in that battle for 8th place. Thanks, Ian. Love it.
You're very welcome. I typed that with love.
It's really kind of you. Really kind.
Thank you.
I'm feeling emotional after that. Rexy Boy makes the move into 7th place on Trucky and is now obviously, in 7th place, as you probably could have
Just
predicted.
go to the comments real quick. Senna says that the rear of the mediums fall off after about 9 laps, so Drago will not be having a fun time in a little while.
Yeah, he also just cut the inside of the chicane there as well, yeah. So Senna's kind of called it a little bit there, but we're only 5 laps into the stint, so that's going to be a bit of a concern at this point, because 5 laps in, he's got to do 15 laps on these to get him to the end.
It all really just depends on what aero package he's running.
Yeah, I do suppose that, because the more he's going to be dragging it through the corners, the trickier it's going to be, I suppose.
The higher the load.
Yeah. So it depends on the setup. But yeah, Drauga coming under pressure now from Mark, and Mark is going to try and knock him while he's down here. Drauga is going backwards at the moment in this race, and I think that maybe the strategy wasn't the wisest here for Drauga. Maybe he should have gone longer into the stint on those hard tyres that I believe he started on. Was it the softs? I can't actually remember. I'm assuming it was the hards, but it could have.
I don't think anybody started on the softs. 2 seconds, I can actually tell you.
No, I don't remember seeing any red graphics at the start, to be honest. But Drauga going backwards at the moment, and it really does look like it's going to be an uphill battle. I think he's going to have to come in and put some soft tyres on. Otherwise, he risks completely blowing his race. Albeit maybe that's already too late for that. But Drauga looking around the outside into turn 1, and is going to make that move there up into 9th place with a lovely move, as we're just sort of like, almost giving him a victory there for his race, and he's got around the outside there up into 9th place.
I'm just going looking back at the stream there, and the tyre profile strategies computer looks like the medium should have been the start, and then changed to the hard between lap 11 and lap 24.
Yeah, but even lap 11's a bit early though. And also lap 24, you can tell that's not quite right, because lap 24 for the mediums, no chance.
No one started on the. It was the only 2 to start on the hard was Droga and White Shadow Hull.
Yeah, I think that the strategy here for Dragon might have just been a little bit too short on the mediums. Maybe should have gone to, I reckon at least, the hards I mean. Should have gone to at least lap 13, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, minimum. But nonetheless, Mark here looking on the back, but too far back. Here coming into the final corner. Truckee also attacking on Rexy Boy here. You've got two battles in the space of a couple of 100 metres here going on. But Truckee too far back on Rexy Boy coming down to stop the straight. But here comes Mark, looking to try and return the favour here on Drago after Drago got ahead of him in the turn one on the previous lap. And Mark is going to do that brilliantly there. But maybe cut the inside of turn two a little bit potentially there. Might have to get that place back, I'm not quite sure.
I definitely saw that his tires definitely caught in between the white line there.
I suppose that, well, the big question is, was there more than two wheels off the track? If there was three or more wheels off of the track at any given moment, if you could take a picture of three wheels off of the track coming through that corner, then officially Mark would have broken the rules there. And but we don't know at the moment.
I shall tell you now, because I can do it. There's a slow-mo feature here.
Ian is just going to check back on the stream there to see, but in the meantime, Glenn is still keeping Ruck in close contention here and it's put up a second place. These two have been very evenly matched over the course of tonight. They're not quite able to keep Stiffy on the same page. Stiffy has just driven off into the distance here so far and is looking good, touch wood, for a potential win.
All four tyres were on the green and white striped curb.
I thought it was, so Mark did do an illegal overtake there. I'm very surprised that hasn't been flagged up by the stewards here tonight. But nonetheless, if Matty Pitt and the crew watch that back afterwards, then that might be getting pulled up by the purple sector stewards after the race. But nonetheless, Glenn with DRS getting a little bit closer to Ruck there towards turn one, but a little bit too far away just at the moment. They've also got Truckee there on the back of Rexy Boy as these guys come down the start-finish straight. Truckee getting closer and closer and closer towards turn one, but a little bit too far away just at the moment. And Drauger here looking to the inside into turn one on Mark, but again, just a bit too far away as things stand. And Stiffy's still stretching his legs out the front with over a 7-second gap over Rock at the moment. There's Glenn keeping him honest in that battle for second place. And Matty here is going to make the move on Oliver and manages to get a beautiful cutback there as Matty Pitt. And up into fourth place he goes. So look at that, beautiful stuff there on those fresher tyres. Oliver now down to P5, but I think you were saying top six, weren't you, Ian, was a realistic target. So, I mean, he's got, what, Street Boys on the back of him, but he's got a further 4.5 seconds back to Rexy Boy, so could still be on the cards here.
Yeah, very easily. Right now, he needs to, just keep his head down, nail each corner, try and keep as much speed as he can. Try and close the gap to P3 and just try and keep those behind and keep them out of mind.
Yeah, keep plugging away. Pretty much in it, really.
But with 5 laps to go, 11 and near enough 12 seconds to gap, it's going to be a very tall order.
As Glenn then makes the move into turn one, ahead of Rock up into second place. And Truckee's got ahead of Rexboy. Rexboy's coming back at him here, down the start-finish straight as these two swapping and changing positions there. And Rexy Boy back up into 7th place, coming into turn one. So beautifully done there from Rexy Boy. Nothing will stop me.
Hiccups.
Nothing will stop me. These pesky hiccups cannot stop me. And today it's really bad as well. Like, my stomach is absolutely burning at the moment.
I just have one question for yourself and the chat.
What?
Do you remember me asking?
Bruh. Right, anyway.
That's now off there, didn't it?
And on that bombshell.
Right there, what he's clocked.
Oh no, Street Boy and Oliver coming together there. Street Boy got around the outside and Oliver's tacked him in the rear. Oliver continues on his way. Street Boy is absolutely plummeting down in the order. Street Boy's not going to be happy with that one. I think that maybe Oliver could have maybe been a bit more to the right there. Street Boy was going around the outside, and whatever the case, it's Street Boy who's come off worse in that one. But yeah, we were riding on board. If we weren't on board there, it would have been easier to tell who was at fault. But obviously we were on board. Street Boy. Was he at fault? Did he turn in?
Yeah, he came right across when he was right alongside, so he came right across.
I thought he was about 3 parts of a car length ahead, maybe, but.
Yeah, but no, in a track like this, you cannot be hitting the brakes.
Okay. Fair play. Sorry, Oliver, if that wasn't on you. Obviously, we'll need Oliver's on board. The stewards will need Oliver's on board after that. So, Oliver, if you're listening, make sure that you save that footage, mate, because you'll definitely need that after the race.
Fault.
No, I know that, but he'll need the footage to prove it was Street Boy's fault.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Pretty ironclad, I would say, on the stream, because Street Boy hit the left-hand wall and came, went straight on, effectively, which cut right across.
Fair. Well, yeah, so that kind of leaves us with, we still got battles going on right now. Oliver seems to have got away without any damage or minimal damage, I think, unless... Oh, no, actually, no, he's got understeer. Oh, dear, no, that is struggling. That car is not going anywhere very fast. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's got damage. He's trying to limp round.
He's got no front wing at all. Oh, he probably had his front left wing is probably that way.
And that is absolutely gut-wrenching there for Oliver after being in a position to really score some phenomenal points here tonight. Truckee, they're getting around the outside of Rexy Boy with a lovely move there into P6. But yeah, Oliver is he's currently he is easy prey for these drivers behind right now. Unfortunately, things have really fallen apart here for Oliver after such a promising race. As we see Rexy Boy there on the inside, holding on ahead of Mark there, trying to make the move on Truckee, but Mark here looking to the outside, side by side here, and they're going to go either side here of Truckee. Oh my goodness,
Whoa.
and Mark nowhere to go, but Rexy Boy making the move down the inside into P6. Mark now making the move with the DRS. Mark there being the wedge there in the middle of the sandwich, and that's just messy now. It's turning into a bit of a fisticuffs, yeah. Oh, this is silly.
Come on, Mark.
Sort it out, guys. Come on, Mark there, poking his nose in. Rexy Boy continuing on in P7. Truckee there, and Street Boy still together, battling over P8 at the moment. But Rexy Boy now all on his own there in 7th place. Mark now on the fringes of the points there in P10, but it's got 20 seconds back to MUFC. So, they're saying that it's 12 seconds now. It's amazing how quickly that changed.
Because Mark has no front left wing.
Yeah, that'll cost. I reckon that costs about 2 seconds a lap. You could still. He might be able to hold on.
Well, it's now down to 10 seconds, and it's coming down by a good amount each time.
Senna there putting in the comments. Well, it's been good up until now, and I think now tensions are maybe boiling a little bit, and we're seeing a few moves that these guys wouldn't normally do. But obviously, once things start to go off, it tends to be hard to diffuse it. So I'm sure that once these guys start the next race, these tensions will have calmed down. But at the moment, and until we hit the checkered flag here tonight, it's going to keep on getting worse, I think.
I think with Mark there, I think he did get a bit frustrated that the Red Bull didn't give him more room, but he was not entitled to give more room. He did everything right. So right now, everything that's just happened to Mark is on himself.
Yeah, Mark in the pits here at the end of lap 23 or 22, I think it is. Pardon me, as we see these drivers still battling over 7th place here. Rexy Boy, Truckee, Street Boy really looking racy here on the back of Truckee at the moment, and goes wide there onto the runoff, which he should have got a penalty for there, but somehow has got away with it. As he looks to the outside there, trying to go around the long way, but Truckee's got that inside covered off, that shorter route there, really helping him as T there has moved ahead of Mark. Mark's had another incident. Mark is now missing his front wing, so things have gone from bad to worse here tonight for Mark. Yeah, he's in one of those. I think what's commonly known as a funk. I think now it's just kind of lost it. I think. Yeah.
Because once you
head's
have
gone.
1 or 2 incidents, that's your focus is gone.
Head's gone. Yeah.
You constantly make silly mistakes, and it just goes from bad to worse.
Yeah. We've all been there. A Street Boy there getting around the outside of Truckee here, up into P8, and yeah, that was a nice move there from Street Boy. But Truckee might be able to return the favour here, because Street Boy hasn't got DRS on Rexy Boy, his Ferrari teammate, which means that Truckee could have a chance here, as Street Boy is not going to have much of a defence. Saying that though, looks like Street Boy's got a very good straight line speed, and that's kept him in good stead there into turn 1, and Street Boy holding on to P8 for the time being. We've got to go to this battle though for P2. I tell you what, these two, Rock and Glenn, I don't know whether Stiffy's let off a little bit over the last few laps, but these two have kept the gap under 7 seconds to Stiffy for the last part of this race. What could have been, I guess, for these guys if they hadn't have fallen away in the early stages, as we see Glenn hitting the wall there. But I wonder if Stiffy's maybe been taking it easy. What do you reckon, Ian?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to have a little bit of fun. Try and lean off without laying off too far. But it looks like Glenn has dropped off the back of Ruck a good little bit here due to hitting the wall. But yeah, I think right now Stiffy's just having a little bit of fun with his foot.
Well, here comes Stiffy over the line here to start the final lap of the race. We've got Drauga here putting Oliver under a lot of pressure. And I tell you what, Drauga has made these medium tyres last until now. Has only got one lap left to go. So fair play to Drauga. He's only got to get around one more circuit of this Jeddah Corniche here tonight, as he's putting Oliver under tremendous pressure here. Oliver, though, has managed to hold on for 5th place so far. Somehow, I don't know how he's done it, but he's still right there.
Yeah, he's done absolutely phenomenally. Done really well. But whether or not he can try and hold it around this corner or not is a different matter.
It's tight. He's got onto the power nice and early there. I think Drauga's tyres are surely going to be feeling the pace a little bit. Oliver on the outside. It's going to be close. Drauga's going to get that move done there into turn 4. Job done there for him. But Oliver's got to stay there because Drauga's tyres are going to be absolutely on the edge. Saying that, Oliver's done 23 laps on his hard tyres. Neither of them have exactly had it easy on their tyres here over this race. Drauga's done more than half the race on a set of mediums, and Oliver has been on these hard tyres since lap 2.
Well, I guess it goes down to how hard you have your downforce set as, how hard you go around the corners. It depends on a lot, but also these two are doing something that's allowing them to extend those tyres, as we just saw the back end of it. And Man United back end come round there a little bit, as we see.
In the meantime, we see Stiffy there coming over the line here to take the win tonight at Jeddah with a phenomenal drive here. Didn't put a foot wrong, has dominated this entire Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and makes up for Tuesday night with a superb drive here to Stiffy. Glenn over in 2nd place ahead of Ruck, who completes the podium. As we see, Street Boy has passed Oliver on this final lap, but they've got penalties, and Oliver's trying to come back at him around the outside with DRS. Is he going to make this one happen? As Street Boy down the inside, does he go a bit too deep? No, he doesn't. He gets it turned in nicely there. Matty Pitt over in 4th place with Drauga P5 next over the line, and then Street Boy 6th and Oliver 7th place in the end. A bit of a shake-up with the penalties there. Rexy Boy 5th, Drauga 6th, Trucky 7th with Street Boy 8th, and Oliver dropping down to P9 with the penalties there. And as MEFC coming out of the final corner here, P10 for MEFC tonight. Obviously 2nd place on Tuesday at Bahrain, but tonight didn't go to plan at all there. As we see T coming out of the final corner, it's going to be P11 here for T, an up and down race here for him. His teammate though getting some good points there in 4th place as T comes over now. White Shadow Hole has finished the race a lap down in 13th place, and obviously we await Mark, who had that very chaotic sort of last few laps, didn't he? But nonetheless, into the final corner on the fresh soft tyres, might be able to do the fastest lap here. Let's see, let's watch the timing board here. This could be a purple lap here. It'd just be depriving somebody else of it because he's not in the top 10, but nonetheless, let's see. Obviously this season they're actually getting rid of fastest laps here. Did you hear that, Ian? The fastest lap point. Yeah, the fastest lap point's being scrapped in real life F1 this season. I only found that out the other day.
Oh, that's a bit of a strange move to go for.
Yeah, I don't know if Purple Sector do it. We'll see in a minute. But yeah, that is that then for tonight, guys. So yeah, I mean, Bahrain was an absolute cracker. It was fantastic. Jeddah, it never disappoints, but I'd say so far this season, I'd say that I'd say Bahrain's definitely the top of the pile in terms of the entertainment value. But nonetheless, it's been a good night here tonight. T actually got the fastest lap. He was half a second quicker than Mark on his fresh soft tyres. So Mark doesn't get that fastest lap point, or even doesn't even deprive anybody else of it either. But that is it for tonight, guys. So Stiffy there taking the win, and a very, very convincing win indeed. Glenn over in second with Ruck completing the podium. But Ian, got to ask you the $1 million question, as we always do. Who would you nominate for driver of the day?
Matty Pitt, for sure. He's came down from the lower end of the grid and he's fought all the way to fourth and he's kept it. And he managed to go with it a penalty. So, in my eyes, that's a phenomenal drive and a very well deserved drive for the day for me.
Very good shout. Personally, I'm going to go for Stiffy. I know I'm being boring because he won the race, but the way that he drove off and never looked back and completely controlled it, clearly with a bit of I think a point to prove after Tuesday, and has done that absolutely brilliantly. So Stiffy for me. But thanks everybody. We'll see you all very, very soon. Join us on Tuesday night for round 3 of the Purple Sector Formula One League. They'll be back on at 8 p.m. at the usual time, and it will be. Where is round 3? We're going to find out in just a second. Round 3 will be at Australia, Albert Park. So we look forward to that. But if you want to join us before then, we'll be back on Monday night as well for our first broadcast of the Red Arrow Racing League at 8 p.m. So yeah, thanks again, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Good night.
Good night.